Oh Canada, you won't believe what just came out this morning. If you're sitting down with your morning coffee, get ready, because this news is huge. A major political scandal is unfolding, and it's happening right here at home. Governor General Mary Simon and the RCMP have launched a full investigation into none other than Mark Carney. Why? Because a missing ballot box was reportedly found on one of his properties. Yes, you heard that right, a ballot box. Not just any box either, but one connected to the election that's had Canadians talking for weeks. This was the same close, controversial vote that barely handed Carney a thin majority, and now, this discovery raises serious questions. Imagine a quiet morning in Ottawa. The snow's melting, birds are chirping near the Rideau Canal, and suddenly, RCMP officers move in on a property tied to the sitting Prime Minister. What they find is shocking: a ballot box linked to the missing votes. This has rocked the country from coast to coast. Canadians, farmers, truckers, small business owners, have all been expressing frustration about the integrity of the election. And now, it looks like their concerns were justified. To her credit, Governor General Mary Simon didn't sit on this. She reviewed the facts, met with senior RCMP officials, and took action. She's used her authority as the Queen's representative to order a formal inquiry. And frankly, it's about time. Public trust in this government has never been more fragile. Canadians across the country have been watching in disbelief as Elections Canada offered excuse after excuse, calling them administrative errors or isolated incidents. But tell that to the families in Saskatoon whose votes were never counted, or to the veterans in Nova Scotia whose ballots went missing. Now, we finally know where at least some of those missing ballots ended up, on property linked to Mark Carney. It sounds like something out of a political drama, but this is real. And where has Mr. Carney been through all of this? Completely silent. No national address. No press conference. Just the occasional brief comment when pushed by reporters. For someone who built his image around leadership and defending democracy, he's done very little to reassure Canadians, aside from protecting his own position. Let's not forget, this is the same man who stood on international stages lecturing others about democratic values. And now, as questions pile up at home, his silence says more than words ever could. Before we continue, just a quick request: if you're finding this coverage helpful, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of our viewers haven't hit that subscribe button yet. It's free and it helps us a lot. Thanks so much. Now, back to the story. Enter Pierre Poilievre. What a moment for him. He's been calling this out for weeks, saying there can be no real trust in this election without full accountability. And now, everything he warned about is starting to unfold. Pierre Poilievre has been proven right. While Mark Carney's government brushed off concerns and labeled critics as conspiracy theorists, Poilievre kept pushing for transparency. He called for answers when few others would, and now, Canadians are listening. Social media is exploding. Hashtags like #BallotGate and #CarneyCoverUp are trending across the country. But here's what's really unsettling: if one missing ballot box was found on property linked to Carney, how many more are still out there? How deep does this go? What else might have been hidden? It's a troubling thought. Because if there's one, there's likely more, and Canadians know it. From British Columbia to Newfoundland, town halls are filling up. People are angry, demanding answers. Even longtime Liberal supporters are losing faith, and fast, and the RCMP isn't letting this slide. Sources say the investigation is growing. Warrants have reportedly been issued for several Liberal insiders. One source even mentioned that senior officials at Elections Canada could be brought in for questioning. As for Poilievre, he's keeping a close eye on everything. Meanwhile, insiders claim that Mark Carney is behind closed doors at Rideau Cottage, overwhelmed and frustrated, reportedly blaming others and talking about sabotage. But let's be clear, as Prime Minister, the responsibility falls on him. Hiding from the public and pointing fingers won't fix this. The fact that the Governor General had to take charge when the Prime Minister wouldn't, that says everything. This isn't just a political misstep. It's turning into a major national scandal. Because when election integrity is in question, democracy itself is at risk. If ballot boxes can be found on property linked to the sitting prime minister, how can Canadians have confidence in the system? This isn't just about one election, it's about the future of democracy in this country, and the fact that Mark Carney still hasn't addressed the nation? That says a lot. As Pierre Poilievre put it, when a leader fails to lead in a crisis, the people will step up, and that's exactly what's happening. Rallies are already being planned across major cities. Legal experts are now questioning whether this government can even continue. Calls for a snap election are growing by the hour, with the Governor General now fully involved. Credit to Mary Simon for stepping in when it mattered. We may be closer than ever to real change. Mark Carney may have believed his position was protected by high-level connections and media support. But the truth has come out, and Canadians are no longer buying the official story. They want answers. They want accountability. And with Pierre Poilievre speaking up and the RCMP digging deeper, they may finally get both to SO. If you're watching this right now, don't stay quiet. Stay involved. Share this story with your friends and family, because this isn't just about one scandal. It's about protecting the democratic future of Canada for generations to come, and if Mark Carney thinks he can simply ride this out, he may want to start preparing his resignation, because the pressure is mounting, and the writing is on the wall. That's all for today, friends. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Do you think it's time for Carney to step down? Because I sure do. See you in the next one.